Hey guys, Kat here. Another edition of Dinner Sips with the Corkscrew Concierge. So Malbec World Day is just in a few days, and so I decided that today's pairing would feature Malbec. So today I have the 2017 Domaine Bousquet Grand Malbec. And so we all know Malbec originated in France, but arguably it was Argentina that made it a star. So since we're sipping and toasting to Malbec World Day, I figured I'd start with an Argentinian Malbec. So there was method to my madness in choosing this particular Malbec. I've drank a lot of Domaine Bousquet, and one of the things I love about these wines is they offer some of the best bang for your buck. And part of it is has to do with their business model. I mean, they own pretty much own and control pretty much every layer of distribution for their wines, and so it helps them to keep the prices low. And if you haven't read that article on my blog, I highly recommend it. So when trying to decide what to pair with my Malbec, I initially didn't want to go with beef. I mean, that's the stereotypical pairing, right? Everyone knows that Argentinian Malbec and beef are great pairing partners. But one of the things I always like to do on my blog is to highlight and pair the foods that we typically cook in our home. So we are inspired by soul food and southern food and Cajun and Creole cuisines. And so all of that shows up in our cooking. And so one of the things I like to do is pair wine with those types of foods, just to highlight the versatility of wines and to let people know that whether your food is highbrow, lowbrow, mid-brow, or whatever kind of brow it is, there is a wine for your cuisine. So for today's soul food edition of Dinner Sips, I am cooking braised oxtails. We have some sweet potato pudding that's inspired by Emerald Lagasse recipe. And then we have some wilted garlic spinach because, we needed a healthy vegetable. So stay tuned. Yes, that was actually as much work as it looked like. Fantastic meal and something my entire family enjoys. So before we dig into the food, why don't we give the wine a whirl? And y'all know I've already been drinking some. So give it a whirl. So on the nose, this one definitely has some of the dark fruit, a little bit of floral notes. Typically what I would expect in an Argentinian Malbec. This one, lots of black fruit. So black cherry, black plum, there's some vanilla spice, a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of earthiness, just lots of complexity here. The flavors and aromas just keep coming at you. This one actually is comprised of 85% Malbec, and then it's also made up of 5%. Let's see how it pairs. And Cabernet. So I have my oxtail, I have my sweet potato pudding, and I have my garlic spinach, which, you know, if you saw in that video, we love garlic in our house. So there's a lot of garlic in the oxtails, there's garlic on the spinach. So just don't get too close to me. So let's see. All right, let's give this a whirl. Great pairing as expected. Again, we all know beef and Malbec love each other. Now, in many instances when I make braised oxtails, a lot of times I'll do it with the roux, which Mr. Corkscrew loves because he thinks rice and gravy is a food group. But a lot of times I just like to braise it in its own juices, let it speak for itself. And in my opinion, that actually helps it pair a little better with the wine. So you don't have the roux overpowering the wine and vice versa. And the nice thing about Malbec is even though you don't have a big honkin' ribeye or anything like that, the tannins are there, but they're a lot smoother tannins than you would find in, say, a Cabernet Sauvignon,
Domaine Bousquet
or Syrah,
Malbec.
and so that's highly recommended because then it can pair with, you know, lighter cuts of beef, which is why a lot of people will pair it with a flank steak, and even something like this.